everybody, welcome back to Simply Cerisa. Today, as you can see, I am in my kitchen. Why am I in my kitchen? It's because Thanksgiving is almost upon us. Now I know when you're watching other videos and you're actually even watching TV, everybody seems to have skipped completely over this holiday and they're already onto shopping lists, wish lists, everything you can imagine for Christmas. Well, I happen to love Thanksgiving, but it can be a little bit stressful for many people in that I think that there's so much focus on food that a lot of people tend to feel the pressure to make everything from scratch and create this huge feast for family to just come over, eat in 15 minutes, and then go sit on the couch and watch the football game. So as you can hear, I had my oven, it's ready to go. I have 3 hacks that I'm gonna tell you about that I really have found over the years to help me a lot during the Thanksgiving season, and in particular to make that meal. The first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk about number 1, is spatchcocking my turkey. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, basically what you do is you cut the spine out and you smash the breastbone down flat, and so you lay your turkey out. It cuts the cooking time in half. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of getting up way before dawn just to start cooking my turkey. So I found something that I feel works really well, and we aren't one of those people that presents the turkey whole and that, you know, somebody carves it in front of everyone. We're not that type of family. What we do is we like to pre-carve our meat, separate it from the light meat and the dark meat and the drumsticks, and we have it ready to go with everything else. So this cooking method works really perfectly for us. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna speed through my demonstration with an actual chicken because a turkey is a bit much for me to cook right now since we're a few weeks out from Thanksgiving, but you'll get the idea. And then what I'll do is I'll link below the original person that I saw doing this, which happens to be one of the OGs of the Food Network, Tyler Florence, and his recipe is amazing for turkey. But again, I'm gonna do a quick chicken dinner, and that may be helpful to some of you as well. So let me speed through that, and then I'll get on to the next couple of things.
The first step is to make sure that your chicken or turkey is completely thawed. Then you can pat it dry and you take out the heart, gizzards, and any other extras that might be in the cavities of the bird itself. Once you flip it over and have the spine side up, you can start cutting away at the skin to make things a little bit more visible if that helps. Once that is done, you can start going in to the area on either side of the spine. You will have to feel around a little bit and you can find the spot that is easier to cut. As you can see, it is not the easiest thing to do, so you will need a very strong pair of kitchen shears, and you may even need to recruit somebody that has a strong grip to help you get through some of the parts. Once you cut through and remove the spine, just pick up the bird, flip it over, and use a lot of pressure to push down in between the breastbone, and you will probably hear a cracking sound. This is something that you probably want to try once or twice with a smaller chicken before you go in with a 20-pound turkey. I save the extras and the spine, and I put it into a large stock pot with all my extra goodies, and I make my own chicken or turkey stock that I can use later for gravy.
Okay, in the oven this one goes.
Quick check-in, that bird is looking beautiful. The turkey will look very similar to that as you cook it, just in a much larger form.
All right, fresh out of the oven. Look at that. My spatchcocked bird. My second tip is actually probably something that many of you may not consider a hack since you can buy this stuff pre-made, but it's a hack because it's something you can make way well in advance and you can actually use the leftovers, and I think that they're tasty and it's just much better of a presentation. My cranberry sauce recipe could not be easier. The basic recipe is always on the back of these packages, and it's kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. So for this size package, which happens to be, I think, 12 ounces, they want 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar, which you are supposed to put in the pan and kind of bring to a boil before you add the cranberries. Now, the only thing that I like to do differently is I swap out most of the water for orange juice, and you can either use it freshly squeezed from your oranges because you need the zest, or if you have orange juice itself, you can kind of do a half and half to that. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. It just depends on your personal preference, personal taste. But I like mine to be a little bit thicker and a little more orangey flavored. So I use mostly orange juice. I squeeze my oranges after I zest them. So I'm just gonna do that really quickly and speed through that, and you'll see what I do. As you can tell, I have a lot going on here in my orange juice sugar mixture. I actually enjoy it, having all of the fresh chunks of the orange. But again, you don't have to do that at all, and you can just choose to use prepared orange juice, whether you like pulp or no pulp, whatever works, it's fine. And go the cranberries, simple as that. Okay, we are just a couple minutes in, and it's already starting to change form. The cranberries have mostly popped, but they still obviously are very visible, and it's starting to foam up a little bit. And so I just like to mix it a little bit, and then I just let it cook down. And after about 5 minutes, this is the finished product. As you can see, there are still cranberries in there that are softening with the heat, and I have my assistant putting the orange zest in there to mix in as we turn the heat off and let it do its thing for a little while. Now, because I have the time, I'm just gonna let it cool on the stove while I finish up doing some other things. But as it cools down, I will get it into my mason jars and it'll be ready to go. And my cranberry chutney is done. It made approximately 3 cups. And if you wanna just take a quick look at this, close up, it is gorgeous. It's still hot, steaming hot, but look at that. And the flavor is just this perfect mix of sweet and sour with the orange, and then the bitterness from the cranberries. You cannot go wrong with this. And it just gets a little bit thicker as it cools down. Perfect. My third and final tip is to choose that one food item that is on your menu for Thanksgiving Day that you absolutely hate to make, or the one that causes you the most stress, and cross it off your list. That's right, unapologetically, don't make it. Now, before you say, Cerisa, you're crazy, it's tradition, we have to have this, first, double check, make sure, is it one of those items that everyone eats and everyone is so excited about? If it is, then I would suggest you delegate a family member to start making it for you, and then they can bring it in and they can feel really helpful. Now, if it's something that is just an item that you know you can buy pre-made, for example, myself, I buy a Costco pumpkin pie every year. I love pumpkin pie. I love to eat pumpkin pie. I do not like to make them. Costco can make a much bigger, better, and cheaper version. So why stress myself out when I can go get one and have it ready to go? Now, the other option that you could have is to just forego it altogether. If someone else doesn't want to make it, if you can't find a good replacement at a store or local bakery, then maybe just leave it off the list altogether. And if it's maybe a vegetable dish, then buy a prepackaged salad mix and make a salad instead. Try something new, try something different. I really don't think it's worth sacrificing our peace just to have another dish on the table, when we can do something that may even be better and become a new tradition in the long run. So that's it for me. I hope these tips were helpful, and make sure that you hit like and subscribe if these are the type of videos that you like. And do me a huge favor, leave some comments below. Let me know what traditions that you have on Thanksgiving and what the one food item that you absolutely despise making is. I always like to know what it is that people like to make and what they just absolutely can't stand. So anyway, that's it for me. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon.